All right, so let's wrap up. The final thing is that this is how crazy our country has gotten, and how this isn't like even more major news. It is news, but this should be all over the place. Roger Stone, the very strange political whatever he was with Donald Trump. Donald Trump pardoned him for crimes that he had committed that he should be in jail for.
Yeah.
But he got pardoned and he's roaming around on the streets free. Hopefully not for much longer, because an audio tape just came out recently. He has some very interesting ideas of how he wants to proceed for the rest of this year. Let's take a listen to Roger Stone and we'll talk about it when he's
there and go find Swalwell and get this over with. It's time to do it now. Then we'll see how brave the rest of them. Either Swalwell or Nadler has to go before the election. They need to get the message. So just not putting up with this again.
That's crazy.
He is plotting the death
That's crazy
of either Jerry Nadler or Eric Swalwell, and says we need to send them a message, because if we kill them, they're not going to run their fucking mouths anymore.
You know why this isn't like all over everywhere?
It's not all over everywhere, because now we are in a news cycle that is so beyond crazy that it gets lost.
To the fucking Iowa. So maybe next week they'll catch on to someone to put it on their show, and it'll just keep going. Because
but Lana, 10 years ago, 15 years ago, if this story came out, they wouldn't even talk about Iowa. They'd say, we'll let you know what's going on in Iowa, but they would talk about this for weeks.
Like, that's serious. He wasn't joking.
No, he was not. He was talking to one of these Proud Boys, by the way, is what he was doing. And if anybody doesn't think that these kind of conversations are not going on with people like Roger Stones and others right. About Democrats, you're out of your fucking mind. And I can tell you, you are. If it ever happens, I'll play it on this and I'll say I was dead wrong. You're not going to find a Democrat being secretly recorded talking about killing Ron DeSantis or whoever it is they think that Marjorie Taylor Greene or Matt Gaetz. I mean, you might hear somebody going, God, I wish somebody would, but I don't think you're going to hear anybody plotting the death of these people, because we need to send a message to these people.
Right.
This is why we should be taking this way more seriously than we are. But it is my understanding that there are some people in law enforcement who did not think that this was very funny. So there is an investigation going on with Roger Stone. He was pardoned, kept out of jail, and this might be, his way of getting back in there.
How did they get the tapes before we go?
I don't know. I don't know. Obviously these things, and somebody wanted to leak this, and somebody probably said, you know what, this is a little bit more serious than
right.
So we should probably leak this somewhere. I don't know how they got the tape. And maybe somebody does. I don't know. But yeah, that's, to me, that's not just, that's scary shit.
Say Swalwell has even responded.
He has, yes. He actually tweeted, and I had the tweet somewhere, but actually, let me read it real quick because he did respond. Let's see. Swalwell said the comments. Okay. The Roger Stone assassination plot recording may seem like the ravings of a wannabe gangster, which you alluded to earlier, I think before we got on the air, right? Yeah. It's not. This is what Trump and his real life thugs do. They try to intimidate opponents and will always choose violence over voting. Because I'm one of Trump's loudest critics, Stone put a hit out on me. This threat and other threats of violence by Trump and his supporters must be taken seriously by not only law enforcement, but also by my colleagues. Both parties, not just Democrats, must condemn this violence. It's sad that must condemn this violence. Unity will always be the best antidote against further violence. And finally, he says, Stone said that I and Trump enemies need to get the message. Well, I and the voters have the message for Stone and Trump. We are still here, and we are not going anywhere until we bury MAGAism and make sure American democracy endures. So that was his statement. You know, obviously a little bit more professional and probably not what he's thinking.
That's
And
unnerving.
yeah, it really is. And it's sad that we have elected officials now who, and I know in American history, you had to worry about some loons here and there, but I think the loons have grown significantly more, and you have to worry way more about something crazy happening these days than you did, I think, 10, 15, 20, 100 years ago. So
For sure.